As leaders, you're not just steering the ship, you're navigating uncharted waters. In today's fast-paced environment, adaptability and resilience are key. So let's dive into some strategies to help you thrive amidst challenges. Your self-leadership channel, where you'll learn all about leadership and self-leadership, tips and tricks, and some things that always work with my clients. I'm Milun, your life and leadership coach accredited by the International Coaching Federation. Today's episode is specifically tailored for those of you who are facing unique challenges in an ever-evolving leadership and business landscape. First and foremost, you need to become a master of adaptation. The world is dynamic, especially in our time and age. Change is inevitable. Global events, market shifts, technological advancements, your ability to adapt will define the success of you and your team, how smoothly your leadership will work out. So adapting to change is a must in your skill sets. Before you can adapt to change, you need to assess the change that's happening. Therefore, while you do that, choose a positive mindset. Choose to be open-minded and to really understand what's happening, what makes it relevant for you, what are the perks, what are the downsides of this specific change. Foster a culture that values innovation and encourage your team to think outside the box. Something changed, what does it mean to you? What are the consequences? What can you do to solve it or to adjust to it? Change is not a threat, it's an opportunity. Specifically, an opportunity for growth. Embrace a change that is in agreement with your values and discern how to navigate the change that is not in agreement with your values or the values of the team. Out of that, draw the consequences. It can mean that if a certain change is against the values of a team, that you cannot hop on a certain trend. You cannot work with a certain company who goes against your values. On the other side, if a change is agreeable with your values, then you can work with that and take an advantage out of. Taking a stand and adapt to the change is also important, as nowadays everyone is expected to have a political standpoint. No matter what's happening in the world, people expect of you to take a side. There's always the question, how can you adapt to that demand? How can you adapt to that change? Do you want to take a political stand? If not, how will you communicate that in a justifiable manner? Of course, there are more things than just adapting to change. Effective communication is a lifeblood of leadership. The more you are in leadership and responsibility, the higher the expectations towards you. But no matter what role you have, what responsibility you have, communication is always essential and will make a big difference. Your team looks to you for guidance, and your ability to communicate a clear vision is paramount. That could mean craft a compelling narrative that aligns with your team's goals. Ensure that the communication is transparent and inclusive. This not only fosters trust, but also motivates your team to rally behind your vision. I would like to add here that inclusivity here in this context means by that, make your team feel and actually be part of the process. Let them understand that they can bring in their perspective and that it's taken into consideration. Communicate with them what decisions have to be made, where they can be part of, where they can have an impact. I say that also from the point of view that there are too many teams out there where everyone says we are family, we are a team, we all can bring in your perspectives, your thoughts, your feelings. In the end, they either do it too much or not at all. There needs to be a clear understanding of how does inclusivity look like in your company? How far can your team form decisions with you? In which areas, projects can they do it? And where is their fixed base already? Now let's talk about the powerhouse behind every successful leader. Some people like to talk about building a high-performing team. Other people say, build your dream team. There are so many ways you can call it. In the end, for whatever your focus and vision is, you would want to have people on your team who are actually equipped and have the right personality and skill set to be part of that team. Too often, people employ others who are not really fitting into the team. Building and leading the ideal team is a continuous journey. It is important that you identify and nurture talent within your team. Encourage collaborations, encourage them to work on their further education, work on the skill set, work on the personal development. Too many companies Take the coach or call the coach in when there are problems. That is a problem. A coach is meant to help you and your team to grow, not to just fix your problems. Of course, a coach can do that also. Always keep in mind, a cohesive team is not just a workforce. It is on one side a strategic advantage that can tackle any challenge head on. You will want to understand that they are not machines. They are human beings which need to have a respectful and proper treatment within the team, and the team needs to be put together wisely. Which brings us to the last factor for this video, strategic decision making. As a leader, strategic decision making can be a superpower. Every decision you make has a ripple effect throughout the whole team, organization, company, or business. Every decision has a ripple effect. And that's something you have to be aware of. To make really good strategic decisions can be necessary for you to analyze data, consult with experts, call in a coach, a mentor, supervisor, have several team meetings with the sub-teams or the main team leaders. Consider the long-term impact of the decision. And even if along the way you see that the decision was not ideal and there need to be some adjustments, don't forget it is okay to course correct. Flexibility in your approach is key to making effective strategic decisions. There are many decisions tools out there. Most of you experienced leaders know plenty of them. Even then, some of you are sometimes in situations where you feel stuck or where you feel overwhelmed. It's okay to really ask help from outside. I always recommend leaders to have an accountability partner, but they can throw their ideas and the potential decisions into the room and get them reflected back to them. Working with leaders, I observed how often it helped them to just talk it through and have someone reflect it back to them without putting weight on one side. And through that, they were able to assess the situation much clearer. In the end, they can move forward with confidence in their decision and they can see the success and the growth they actually long for. Well, that wraps up today's episode. Remember, leadership is a journey. It's not a destination. Assess and adapt to change. Focus on effective communication. Build a cohesive team and work on your decision making. If you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more self-leadership and leadership related insights. Until next time, stay inspired and lead with purpose.